Our mission is conducting certain training programs with the help of our mission associates. I'm also, besides being mission director of International Mission, which is trying to help Indian dairy industry in our own humble way, I'm managing director of Innovative Business Improvement Company, which is a earning wing of the mission. Our mission is not that we are running that mission with donations. No, our mission is working for the last 14 years. It has not taken even 1 rupee as donation or any help, financial help from government or any organization. So we generate income from our consulting assignments with the industry, and that money is used for missionary work. So when we encouraged this farmer, he was having galvanized iron cans. He has 32 years experience of mishandling and misapplying adulterated, diluted milk. So when I met him for the first time, I persuaded him that if you get the right price from the consumer, will you still dilute the milk? Will you still adulterate the milk? He said, no, if you're buying gold and you're willing to pay me the price of gold, why should I add silver into that? And we started that 2 years ago, and it is working wonderfully. And our informal consumer group is happy because they are getting absolutely pure milk. And we have a condition. There is a penalty clause. Because in India, especially in our situation, it is either money that allows you to do something, or there is fear. There are these two impulses which work in any business transaction. So we said, we'll give you benchmark price. What is the pasteurized milk price of Verka in Chandigarh? We'll pay you 1 rupee more than that. Is that adequate? He said it's more than adequate. I said fine, if it is more than adequate for you, but then there has to be a penalty clause. Now we are purchasing, our group is purchasing about 40 liters milk from that farmer, and the penalty clause is that we pay him after end of the month, and during that period, if any one of our members tests the milk for its contents, milk solid it contains, how much water it contains. If we prove that it contains water or any adulteration, then the penalty is 10 rupees per kg. So that is a deterrent on him. And now you will say that what kind of quality control water you have, how you can assess that milk doesn't contain water, or if it contains water, how much water it contains. Is it possible for a common consumer living in any city in India to do that? I want some input from you. Is it possible?
Can you go test it from anywhere?
No. We are not going to go anywhere. A housewife should be able to conduct those simple tests and prove to the supplier that you have added 10% water or 20% water in that. Is there a technology for testing available that way? No. It is available. Now I will tell you, this is available. This is available on any utensil shop. You take 1 kilo of milk and convert that into paneer. So this is, I've taken 1 kilo of milk and converted that into paneer, and then I weighed it. It is exactly, there are holes in it. So you coagulate and put it in this, and then put pressure on that, you will get paneer. Now this paneer, 1 kilo of milk, buffalo milk, has given me 175 grams of paneer. And we made khoa out of 1 kilo of milk, so this is 200 grams. Now 200 grams khoa means the total solids of the milk must be 16%, because rest is water. If it contains say 7% fat and 9% SNS, the milk component is 16%. And when you make kacha khoa, so not before browning, you will see the color, it's a kacha khoa. So when you make kacha khoa out of it, so this will tell you water has been evaporated and it will retain about 25% water. So 16, 25% of that makes it 200 grams. So if you are getting 200 grams around that, that means there is no water or there is no dilution in that. Am I right? Or I am wrong?
I think it is not so
So it
rapid.
is vague.
Pardon?
If you do it not foolproof.
Oh.
If you have cow milk or mixed milk.
No, we'll come to that. I'll solve that problem. Let's go. First, I'm talking buffalo milk. I am purchasing buffalo milk. I know the person has all the buffaloes. He's not mixing. He's not supposed to mix. And when, as a customer, when I'm testing it in my kitchen, that I'm getting full solid 16% as I've received, in this whey protein and lactose will go in whey and it will produce about 25% less paneer. So these two tests, and if you see conventionally, the sweet makers or Hawaii's, how they are purchasing milk from Dudhiya. They purchase like this. And we have done little bit modification and improvement over this system. That there is, if somebody is buying 1 kilo milk daily or 2 kilo, he cannot make Hawaiian paneer and test whether it contains water or not. No, it is not required. All what you need is a glass jar of 100 ml. You measure 100 ml milk, and we have made a gadget. You can make paneer and measure it to quantity. It gives you out of 100 ml of milk. So multiply that by 10, you will have that how much paneer you can get from. And similarly, making koa out of 100 ml milk, it doesn't take more than 10-15 minutes. So then you can demonstrate to the person supplying milk to you whether he has added water in that or not. And then we have evolved a simple test kit, and we have one instrument. We are developing like a lactometer. It's a hydrometer made of stainless steel, and on one side we have the readings for cow milk, and on the other side we have the readings for buffalo. The only thing is the temperature corrected. So if you are able to incorporate that, you can get exact CLR by just putting it in that. And Chandigarh is a city of educated people, and I have the media reports, and all those reports indicate Adha Doodh, Adha Pani, 50% milk, 50% water, or even certain samples were tested containing 60% water as blue milk. So if you put it in the can itself, it will sink through. And the customer will say it's a diluted milk. And now the Dudhiya itself, he will tell you whether you want cow milk or you want buffalo milk. So cow milk means he has added 30-40 liters milk in buffalo milk and converted that into cow milk. So this can help. So these two tests now, the milkmen who are supplying milk to urban population, what they do, they will add starch, singhade kata or maida or maltodextrin, anything that is vegetable based. And if you are going to test as vegetable based, what is the adulteration of the people who are from the chemistry division? So all what you need is iodine. Iodine, you put few drops of iodine. If it is any vegetable based starch or anything, it will change the color and you will know he has added. And then the most prevalent adulteration in milk today, it is refined oil, because refined oil is cheaper than animal fat or desi ghee. So that is widespread adulteration going on in milk. So if you have to control that and you have to check, is there any platform test that can indicate that the consumer, when he is receiving the milk, he should be able to see if there is, if it is containing refined oil? No? Doctor? No. So what we have done, that a litmus paper is available in any scientific store. I have brought it's available with me. So you take that red litmus and do litmus test. Because when he is adding refined oil into milk, it cannot get dissolved, it will float on the top and it will show itself that it is not milk fat. So when he is to blend that in milk, he needs some solvent, and that solvent extensively used, which has been even now in food safety regulatory authorities, when they say 68% of milk in India is adulterated and it contains these kind of neutralizers and all that. So caustic soda is used by unscrupulous adulterators who are minting money out of dairy business in India. So you need caustic soda to dissolve that refined oil. So when you are using caustic soda to dissolve that and become homogeneous with milk, the sodium ions of that milk or the pH of that milk, you can use pH meter. You can check what is the pH, because if you take pure buffalo milk or cow milk, we checked up the sodium ions will be like 425 or 450 in between. I think you must be doing this test, sodium analyzer. Many of the dairy plants have the sodium analyzer. So the sodium ions is a sure test that it will be in the range of 400, 450. But if it is using neutralizer, the litmus paper will show the color and you will know there is adulteration of neutralizer. And if you conduct these 4 tests, then we have evolved a syringe test. This syringe, you take a syringe and take suck few drops of milk and use a looking mirror. On that, if you leave that drop, you see how it flows down. If it is 50% water, it will be like a 100-meter race going on. It will immediately come down and leave a thin mark on that. But if it is pure milk, it will flow slowly down and then it will leave a clear mark that it is. So that's again a platform test. And even a strainer normally used by housewife for filtering milk, even on that, the pure milk will leave a mark and diluted milk will not leave a mark. So these are 4 or 5 simple tests which can educate the consumer that if he is purchasing milk, whether it is pure or it has certain adulterants which are normally used by Dudia. So once consumer is aware what is the worth of milk he is purchasing, and if the farmer says that 600 liters of water is required to produce 1 liter of milk, and when you go to 5-star hotel, you purchase a bottle of pure mineral water, Tata is selling, I think it is Himalaya, it's 50 rupees a bottle, 1 liter. Water costs 50 rupees, and we are willing to pay 50 rupees for that natural, nothing is that, it is a natural water from springs in Himalaya and put in bottle. And here, if farmer wants that you pay a reasonable price, provided you know how to test it, you will be willing to pay him the reasonable price. Can I have your feedback on this?
Me?
Yeah, you as a customer. Please.
Yeah. Talk to me.
Madam?
You're right.
If you are sure that milk that you are getting is absolutely pure as it comes from the buffalo or cow, no water used for dilution or no adulteration, will you be willing to pay him the price which is reasonable?
Yeah, if it's reasonable, why not?
And this is what my friend Captain Tillo has done. He has educated a group of consumers in Chandigarh, and they are very, very happy purchasing milk from him at 36 rupees. It's pure cow milk. Because people know the sedentary lifestyle, they are afraid of buffalo and the buffalo milk. So they prefer. I think demand is growing. So this is one thing which we need. We think that NDRA can play a meaningful role. That all the students who are maybe in any branch, if they are taught this simple testing or platform testing with no complicated laboratory issues, and when they spread this message across, consumers are enlightened, and producer, we work with producer because the first time when I brought sample, I had a discussion with Dr. Patel. I said if in Canada, when I go and be there, nobody boils milk. And they just take out from the fridge, for the breakfast they put cornflakes and cold milk and take it. And when I went there for the first time in 98, so my son, he said, have breakfast, I said, let's boil the milk first and put in cornflakes. He said, what you are saying? Why boil milk? This milk doesn't need boiling. You can consume yourself because the very purpose of pasteurization is defeated if you boil milk. And here, in India, I know I have done survey in Chandigarh, 99% people are boiling milk before consuming. Am I right? At your places, are you boiling milk when you are at home, or even the pasteurized milk from the packets, it is boiled before consumption? Lady sitting on the back. Are you boiling?
Yes.
And if you are boiling the pasteurized milk, then what is the difference between pasteurization and boiling? How do you differentiate? Why don't we boil milk? Why do we